This is the only guide you'll need to master wholesale YouTube ads. Over the past year, tens of thousands of dollars spent on ads and hundreds of thousands generated in revenue for my clients. I want to break down my workflow live and share the key insights that I've learned. But before we get into this video, there's something I need to tell you. If you can't sit down for more than 5 minutes and take notes on just the basics of YouTube ads, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're probably not going to make it. We're going to cover YouTube ad fundamentals, how to do market research so you can outclass your competitors, my exact AI scripting frameworks to capture your audience's attention in the first 5 seconds of your ads, how to record your ads, and how to set up your campaigns in the Google Ads Manager from the ad level to targeting and everything in between. So let's get into the fundamentals. So to kick it off, we need to understand the fundamentals of advertising and what actually gets people to click. And the answer to this is the things that make people click and end up actually converting are ads that can position you as the expert and that resonates with the current pain they're experiencing. And your solution is portrayed in a way that makes it a no-brainer option for them to come to you. Now, this can be explained and categorized, organized in a very systemized way. And it's packaged in what Eugene Schwartz calls the 5 stages of awareness, who came up with this in 1966. Why this is relevant is because this is crucial for understanding how you're going to approach ads. And we're going to break this down in depth. But basically, the fundamental pillars of this video are based on these 5 stages of awareness. What you're looking at here is a triangle. In this triangle, this represents an amount of people, their total addressable market. Let's just say, for example, home sellers, Most of your market is going to be in the unaware stage, meaning that they might be needing to sell a home, but they don't know it yet. So with that being said, that's going to be like probably 70% of your market right there. Next is the problem aware stage. So it's a slightly smaller audience size, total addressable market size. But the difference is this segment is aware they have a problem. Let's say they just started getting late payment notices in the mail. Now they know that they might be going into pre-foreclosure and they're in the problem aware stage. The next stage is the solution aware. This is going to be important, and this is who we're actually going to be targeting, those in the solution-aware stage. They're aware they have a problem. They're also aware that they're in need of a solution, and they're actively going on places like Google. They're going on Facebook, maybe clicking on some ads there in order to have somebody solve their problem. Maybe they're calling people. Maybe they saw some billboards as well, but you get the point. The next stage, which is our goal, is to bring them into the product aware and then the most aware stage. So the product aware is they're aware they need to solve their problem, and now they've discovered your product, okay, your service. The early point in this stage is that prospects are looking for trust signals. Do you have testimonials on your ad? Or do you have groups of testimonials on your website? What kind of reviews do you have? What kind of contingency are you running? What kind of offer are you running, and how trustworthy is your offer? These are all things that are product aware segment people. And the final stage is the most aware stage, where eventually you've given them so much information that it's basically unreasonable for them not to work with you. And so they end up closing and converting with you. Our job is to take all of the people in the market you're working with. Let's say you're working in the state of Wyoming. Okay, just for an example, let's say Florida. I'm in Florida right now. Wyoming's a little bit ambiguous. But anyway, point is, you take the total amount of people in the solution aware stage, some of them might be in the problem aware, and you bring them down from this product into the most aware stage. Now, I do recommend for larger budgets to actually run ads in the aware and problem aware stage. And each of these different stages are going to have different types of ads running. And this is the key thing to understand, because if you run a product aware ad that'll resonate with people that have seen your product before and just need that little boost to convert, to someone who's in the problem aware stage, they're not going to care. They're going to click off and you're going to waste budget. And I know I've and I've spent a lot of time talking about the 5 stages of awareness, but it's incredibly crucial to understand here that if your messaging is not resonating with your target audience, none of the rest of this works, which is hence why I'm spending so much time talking about this. But enough of this being said, you get the point. You need to make sure that your ads are resonating with whatever current life situation your seller is in. So that's where YT Ads funnel is born. This is the funnel that I've used. And the core principle is essentially just driving traffic using the YouTube ads to a landing page by building interest using the copy of the ad, getting them to book, and then having them become a client. So the funnel we're going to be building out in this video looks just like this. Now I can break this down right now, but we're just going to go over each step of this later in the video. So you can either take a screenshot of this, whatever you got to do, but just understand this right here is the systematic approach that we're going to take to bring people that are already in the solution, maybe problem aware stage. We're going to bring them through a systemized process that's going to qualify them, pre-qualify them, and then they're going to end up booking calls directly in your calendar so you can basically have them at the product aware stage and do the minimal amount of effort needed in order to make it a no-brainer option for them to just work with you and close them. So let's do that right now. So step number 1 is market research. You need to know the pain points, the desires, the situation of your ideal client profile or your ideal customer profile before making up an offer, before running any of the ads. Because if you're not resonating with your ideal client or your offer can't simply resonate with your ideal client, then there's no point in even running your business, right? Or there's no point in running ads at least, because really there's no direction and there's no resonation. If there's no resonation, then, well, you're not really going to see any results. So what I've done is crafted a prompt. I suggest using Claude. And what you'll do is there's 2 different ways you can go about this. The first is actually you can take your previous call recordings that you have of clients, your best clients, clients that you've closed, clients that you haven't, but ones that you've had a decent long conversation on where they've exposed their pain points. And then from here, you can modify this script slightly. But the other option is what this prompt is about is just going on things like Reddit, Facebook groups, any other threads that people post honest information about their experience in your market. And then from there, you can utilize those transcripts, those conversations, and Claude will pick apart the fundamental psychology, the core fears, frustrations that are all driving the urgency to need a solution to their problem. So below are real posts from homeowners and wholesalers describing why sellers chose their home for off-market to an investor. Analyze these posts and extract the following: the core desires motivating them, the core fears and frustrations driving urgency, exact language patterns and phrases these sellers use to describe their situation, common objections or hesitations, and what finally pushed them to take actions. This is all you need to have. Now, there's a bonus part you can actually have here where it's organize your findings so I can use them to write ad copy targeting homeowners at the problem-aware or solution-aware stage, meaning they know they have a problem, bad property, but haven't committed to a specific solution yet, or they have searched for a solution but aren't sure where to turn. And then you can just paste in your research, your different stuff there. And when you click enter, now you're going to have your market research. And you can do the same thing here. You can, instead of saying below are real posts from homeowners, you can say below are call recordings of previous calls I've taken with clients that both closed and didn't close. And what I need you to do is analyze these calls and extract the same exact things. And then from there, now you have your market research and you can go into the next step. Now, I've actually gone ahead and Claude and just did a little bit of research. Obviously, this takes a lot of time for the sake of the video. I did that behind the curtain. But as you can see here, just for an example, core desires, what they actually want behind selling. The recurring theme across every nearly post is relief from burden, not profit maximization. These sellers want their problem to disappear with minimal effort and emotional cost. Specifically, they want certainty of an outcome. So post 1, this is the post 1 that I sent. Seller didn't want to gamble the 90K, as you can see. Then we have the core fears. The number 1 fear being exploited during a moment of weakness is being exploited during a moment of weakness. And you get the point here. So you have your core fears, core desires, frustrations driving urgency, exact language patterns. And now you can take this, and we're going to move into the next step of the ad creation, but this is exactly what you can do in creating your ads. So what you need to understand about creating ads is that everything needs to be centered around your offer. What we now have are the pain points. We have core frustrations driving urgency. We have core desires, language patterns. And so now with all of this, you can now create something that basically makes it a no-brainer to work with you and actually can resonate with your target audience. because this gives you a clear-cut direction moving forward on what's actually going to work and what's proven to work versus ideas that may or may not work. Everything is going to be centered around your offer. Your copy, meaning the scripts, or maybe headlines, maybe picture ads, the actual ads themselves. So, the videos, the scripting, etc. And then the landing pages following what the ads are going to be talking about. So imagine this. The landing pages are built around the ads, which is built around the copy, which is built around your offer. Everything is going to be built around your offer. So with that research that we just came up with, now you can create a core offer going directly to your ICP. Now, what that's going to look like. So going back into the research we just did, the core desires: relief from burden, not profit maximization; preserve dignity, feel like they're being taken care of during a vulnerable moment; and they want a transition runway, not just a closing date. And on top of this, even more important than the desires is the core fears and the frustrations driving their urgency. The number one fear, this is based on the most current data, I'm literally doing the research for you, is being exploited during a moment of weakness, and it shows up in almost every negative post. So what does this mean? It means they're skeptical. Other wholesalers have scammed them before, or maybe things weren't as transparent as what was being said or on the table. And so the point, if you just logically take the next step forward, is to assume, let's be transparent and compassionate. If we can center our ads around being compassionate, being realistic, and being transparent, that's automatically going to set you apart. And let's build an offer that is an embodiment of those traits of your business. And so now we understand that that is what our offer is going to be around. Now, once we come up with that offer, guaranteed cash offer, or I'll write you a $5,000 check if we don't beat your best offer, in writing guaranteed, or sell your home in less than 7 days, or maybe a $20 gift card, or not $20, but you get the point. Something that mitigates the risk and aligns with their core desires. Relief from burden, not profit maximization. They want to be out. So sell in less than 7 days, or I will give you something of mine that's sacrificing me. So it's incentivizing me to get this done no matter what for you. And that's going to build that relationship, that trust, and being transparent is during the moment when you're actually on with them on the phone. This is, your sales skills, etc. And that's where transparency is going to be done. Now, that's also going to be done in the copy of the ads, but you get the point. Now, when it comes to actually scripting the ads themselves, there is a specific psychology that goes behind YouTube ads. Now, you have to understand, YouTube is an edutainment platform, meaning the users that are on there and the demographics usually of your ICP are relatively older, 40, 65, 75. They are on there to be educated and potentially entertained, but it's not the younger crowd of, teenagers, 20-year-olds that are utilizing YouTube Shorts to, get a cheap dopamine response. So you want to have your ads being edutainment based, or honestly leaning more towards educational. And this can be done through a simple framework. The hook, meaning the first 5 seconds of the ad, with a pattern interrupt that captures their attention to get them to keep watching. The story, where you break down client transformations, the pains and benefits, the old, new ways, and you give them that transparent process, the compassionate undertone, and then hit them with the close, having urgency and scarcity, explaining the exact next steps they need to take, and following by a CTA, which is clicking a button below in order to get your home valued in less than 24 hours, get a cash offer, etc. And this is extremely important to understand, because if you don't follow this hook, story, close framework, what you're going to see is you're not going to have people watch past the first 5 seconds. Your click-through rate's going to drop significantly. This is going to rise your cost per 1,000 impressions, and you're going to have bad copy. You're going to spend more for less results, and you're going to blow a ton of money. So make sure that your hook, which is 80% of the ad success, is good, and the story is edutainment-based, and most importantly, it's centered around the offer that actually resonates with the pain points, the core desires that drive, or the core desires and core frustrations that drive urgency for your ideal client profile. I can't stress this enough, that is what's going to actually get the results. Now, the next step is the recording. You can hire actors or actresses, or you can do it yourself. I recommend natural lighting. Typically, if you're in a car, that's a UGC format. It's been working really well recently. And honestly, some people say it's not working well, but based on my data, it's still outperforming basically everything else, especially comparative to like professional studio equipment settings. This just gives off kind of scammy vibes at this point. And then for audio, you need to ensure you have clear audio, whether you have a DJI mic that's wireless or a podcast microphone like you see right here, just ensuring that you have clear, crisp audio that is just making the ad seem very professional and can be heard clearly so that your message and your tone can come across the way that you want it to be portrayed. And then finally, the context of where you record is important. Like I said, you can go outside in the car is working best. You can be in an office. You can be walking outside. And these are all great places to get naturally lit environments where you can also be recording from your phone, recording in that UGC format, selfie format. So now I just want to show you an example of one of the ads we're talking about, applying all of these different formulas and how we can actually break it down. So let's go.
Georgia homeowners, if you inherited a house you don't live in and you're tired of paying the bills on it every single month, I want to buy it from you.
That's the hook. So Georgia homeowners, it called out the ideal client profile, right? Georgia homeowners, if you've inherited a house, so it's called them out. People who've inherited a house that's a homeowner in Georgia. If you've inherited a home you don't live in and you're tired of paying the bills on it every single month, I want to buy your house from you. So that calls them out. Now they're really intrigued. Well, you want to buy it from us? How much? What's the deal? What's the catch?
We buy inherited properties as is. That's no repairs, no cleanouts, no inspections, and no fees. We handle all of it for you. We work with probate situations every single day and can close in as little as 14 days or on your timeline if you need more time. We structure the sale so the estate is clean, simple, and not dragging on for months while costs pile up. Look, if you're ready.
So you get that point. So now you're just doubling down on the pain. So we handle all of the problems. Again, it goes right back to what we were saying before. The core desire and the core frustrations driving urgency is just being able to get a fast, fair sale. So there's no inspections, there's no fees. We do it all for you. We work with probate situations every day. We can close in as little as 14 days. We structure the sales so that the estate is clean, simple, and not dragging on for months while costs pile up. So, and now you're going to get into the call to action.
Look, if you're ready to settle the estate and move forward, just click the button below and answer a few quick questions so we can understand exactly what your situation is and help you move forward. Click the button below to get started.
Done. Click the button below to help you get started. As simple as that. So next is the landing pages. Now, the highest performing landing page that you can run is typically the opt-in page that looks like this. Attention avatar, have your headline. So have you inherited a home? Sell with us, no repairs, no fees, et cetera, and then having a form where they can submit their information. And down below, you just have more information about your business, testimonials, et cetera. And what you can have from here is optionally a secondary form, or you can have a VSL and booking page where you just go basically a little bit deeper into your business, into your service. And if you're the CEO or the founder, I would just have, you here just explaining the next steps and just a little bit more about why working with you is the best option in the market, and then just having them book a call. And finally, having a thank you page where it's just a thank you video, and then just having more case studies that are different from the case studies up here. Just basically the goal here is to just build more trust, explain the next steps, and then just it increases the show rates exponentially. So what that would look like, here's a landing page. So inherited a Georgia home. This is the exact landing page from the script or from the ad that I just showed you before. Sell it fast without the hassle. No repairs, no probate delays, no out-of-pocket cost. They just put their email address, their phone number, and then there's testimonials right here, video testimonials, which are really key. And then just more information. So get a quick cash offer. You get a cash offer. You accept it. You get your money. Selling with an agent, selling with us, FAQs. And then that's it. You just go back up to the top. They submit their information. And then from here, we have a secondary form. Is your property listed? How quickly are you wanting to sell? What's your property's current condition? And then where can we send your cash offer? That you input your information again, and they'll submit it after submitting the property address and phone number here. And on the back end, now you have everything you need to know about the surface level of your prospect situation. And this is leverage you have when you get on the call, and it just makes it easier to start the conversation. So now you've gotten your offer, you've gotten your ads, You've gotten your landing page. Now you're ready to start the actual campaign process. So you're going to hop on into the Google Ads account, and then you're going to end up here on the home page of Google. Now to create your first campaign, I'm just going to show you the overview of how it works. So basically you're going to have a campaign. You'll have an ad group within the campaign. You'll choose your audience within your ad group, and then you'll have 3 to 5 different ads within your ad group in order to test enough hooks or maybe different bodies so that you have enough data that's split tested to determine which one is the most performing or the highest performing ad. Now within the ad account, you also have advanced targeting types. We're going to break all of this down when creating the campaign, so let's just jump in right now. So what you'll first do is you'll click on the blue plus button, click new campaign, leads, continue, video, continue, and then you're going to be brought to this page. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive on how to create a campaign. I'm just going to go over the things that are really crucial when setting it up. The rest of this stuff, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, comment in the description below. But the things that you need to change, obviously your location and language settings. You want to make sure this is on presence, and then choose whatever location you're going to be targeting. Let's say you're targeting California, then you're going to target California and save. What you want to do is go to devices, and you just want to turn off TV screens. This is crucial because most leads never convert on the TV, and you're just literally wasting money on an area you don't need. And that's it for the campaign settings. Now, the bread and butter happens in the audience targeting, which is also in the ad group. What you want to do, this is some more sauce. When you choose, you want to disable every single option or every single placement that Google wants you on, except for YouTube in-stream ads. This is the only real place you're going to see profitable ad campaigns running, unless you have a specific goal in mind. But for lead generation campaigns, 9 times out of 10, YouTube in-stream is going to work, so just leave it like that. And then you want to check off optimized targeting. Almost every single instance you want optimized targeting off, and then adding an audience. Basically, what you can do is just add an audience, and then go and do interest and detailed demographics, choose an in-market audience. And this is where you can input like the in-market audiences that is the pre-built audiences that Google deems as relevant for people that are in your market. So cash for homes, for example, is a good one. There's other ones as well. So buying houses with cash, property quick sale. These are all ones that are considered in-market audiences for your specific market, hence in-market. You can also do custom segments. So you can do like people that have typed in certain terms. So if you want to do like sell my house fast, pre-foreclosure, and then you can just choose the recommended ones as well. So sell my home, and then just choose like the recommended ones that come up as well. But these are the different targeting types that you can run, and you can combine them, you can split test them. And this is what it looks like in the campaign account. And then obviously, once you get to the ad level, this is where you'll put your landing page URL. You'll actually put the ads you have uploaded on YouTube, your logo, and this is where you just put your headlines as well. And this is simple. I have other videos breaking down how to set up, the headlines, how to import your videos, how to do descriptions, your business name, all of this stuff I dive deep in previous videos, so you can check those out on my channel. But what I'm trying to showcase to you guys here is the entirety of the funnel. And those are just the crucial steps you want to choose when setting it up. And so now that your campaigns have launched, we're going to go over the scaling and economics phase within the funnel. So with your initial ads, these are the ones you're going to post. Initially, let's say you just started your campaigns, you're going to want to wait 7 to 14 days before making any changes, depending on your budget. If your budget's $50 or below, you can wait about 14 days. If your budget is like 50 or above, you can wait about 7 days. And you want the algorithm to learn over this time. And if you make constant changes every single day, if you're like running nationwide campaigns, you're running $30 a day budget, and you're noticing, hey, I hadn't seen any results in the first 2 days, I'm going to have to pause it. Then start smaller if you're that concerned about your budget. Start smaller with your daily budget, or just calm down, take a breath, and just let the algorithm learn. It needs time to figure out who your ideal client is, and it's going to do a better job than you ever could. So just give it some time. The next phase is the optimization phase. So you want to maintain a consistent budget once the learning phase is over. And then you're just going to want to continuously refine the account to improve the performance. What this means is just pausing or killing campaigns that fall outside of your KPI targets. So if you're not profitable, let's say that your close rate's 10%, your close rate's 10% on leads, you're getting an average cost per lead of $200, and you're considered profitable at $100. You can pause the ads or the campaigns that have performed at $200 cost per lead and just leave the ones where you're getting about $100 cost per lead. That's just an example. And the goal here is to just focus on sustained performance over time. Now, on average, you're typically going to see things like this. About a 5 to 15% opt-in rate, meaning 5 to 15% of those who see your ad and click on your landing page actually end up submitting their information. And this cost per lead range in a healthy campaign is going to range from about $30 to $100. With nationwide campaigns, it's going to be leaning to more towards this $30 number. With city specific or state specific, you're going to see somewhere closer to that $100, $70 to $100 range. And because of this, the cost per closed deal also ranges. You'll see anywhere from $500 with really extremely healthy, high-performing campaigns, all the way up to $3,000. Now, if your average order value is $10,000, you can afford spending $3,000 to acquire a client. And the other metrics, are important. About a 5 to 8% conversion rate, meaning of those that opt in, about 5 to 8% of them convert conservatively. I've seen anywhere up to 10 to 15% as well. Just depends on your sales skills at that point. And then you have a 20% booking rate. Of those who opt in, 20% of them also book a call in your calendar. So if you want a clear, concise way to start scaling and need a way to visualize it, let's say your target revenue per month with YouTube is $20,000, and your deal size is $10,000. And it takes on average about $1,000 to close a deal. If you have an 8% conversion rate and an average cost per lead of $50, you're going to need about 25 leads per month in order to justify closing a deal. Closing 2 deals, because the average order value is $10,000. And working backwards, now you're going to need about $1,250 in order to close 2 deals. Now, typically, this conversion rate is a little bit lower than this for wholesale. I usually see anywhere from like 3 to 5%, and the average cost per lead is $75. So this number is probably going to be more so towards the range of $3,000. But the exact same principles apply. If your target revenue is $100,000 per month and your average order value is $10,000, so $1,000 cost per closed deal, you're closing at 8%, your average cost per lead is $50. You need 63 leads per month, and you need $3,000 in order to make $100,000 a month. Again, this is optimistic metrics. Typically here, you're probably going to need anywhere probably from more like $10,000 to $15,000 per month in order to hit that $100K a month number. However, obviously it's still profitable and you're winning. Now, as always, guys, the reason I made this channel is because I'm trying to make it easier for wholesale businesses to get better ads, get more leads, and grow their business. That's all I'm doing. I give away all the free game on my channel because I just genuinely want to see you guys win. But if you think you would benefit more from getting YouTube ads implemented directly and getting more high quality leads, I work one-on-one with a select number of people. So if you're interested, click the button below and book a call with me. Aside from that, that's all I got for this one. I'll see you in the next one.